Happy Wednesday, Bills Mafia. Our friend Adam Schefter broke the news this morning. The great Stefon Diggs has a new contract with the Buffalo Bills. It's a 4-year extension worth $104 million, $70 million guaranteed. Now, Diggs has 2 years left on his original deal, so this ties him to Buffalo for the next 6 seasons. This is absolutely brilliant on so many levels. Stefon Diggs is a superstar. He loves Buffalo. He's put up huge numbers with the best yet to come. And with the wide receiver market exploding with the contracts for Davante Adams and Tyreek Hill, heck, even Christian Kirk, Diggs wanted more. He's earned it. And how about Brandon Beane, the outstanding general manager of the Buffalo Bills, who absolutely agreed? There's a reason they call the Bills GM Big Baller Beane, because he makes amazing moves to win. It's not lip service, it's action. And I want you to remember this, and we've talked about this through the years on Time to Shine. The secret sauce in the Rams approach, they take care of their own. Now, for Buffalo, the Von Miller contract, amazing and inspiring, but the key for the Bills, and Beane knew it, was to get Diggs done to ensure that the locker room was ready to embrace Von Miller, and this team had 0 distractions this season. This is genius timing on the heels of the genius offseason. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. This, of course, on the heels of the genius trade a few years ago to bring Diggs to Buffalo as Josh Allen's go-to guy. It's not hyperbole to say that deal changed everything for everyone. Starting with my guy, Josh Allen, who has become a superstar the last 2 years. Allen, a dominant force already. And let me tell you something right now. He is going to be the dominant force in the NFL in year 5 at the quarterback position. And I'm obsessed with this. I just love the talent around him. And, look at this board. There's some new faces here. Gabe Davis is now going to emerge as the perfect number 2. No more Sanders and no more Cole Beasley. I like that. Crowder's a great new addition. Love Duke Johnson. Love Dawson Knox. O.J. Howard as the 2 tight ends. Bring in O.J. Howard. Bills fans going to be saying O.J. did it a lot this year. Devin Singletary finally clicked down the stretch last year, which is going to lead to a monster season in 2022. Oh, I can't wait to jump through tables. It's all there for the Buffalo Bills. They should have won the title this past year. They were going to get over those 13 seconds. But now with the talent and chemistry, the only question is how many Super Bowls the Buffalo Bills are going to win with Allen throwing to Diggs. Championship number 1 hits this season. Anthony Davis laments having more lineups than wins. Bag it, losers. Bag it, AD. Bag it, LeBron. Bag it, Jeannie Buss. Bag it, Rob Pelinka. Bag it, Russ. Bag it, everyone. Perfect sound bites in terms of the excuses to sum up the tears of these clowns. Let's just call it what it is. The 2021-2022 Lakers are the biggest underachiever and disgrace in the history of professional team sports. It's officially over. Spurs beat the Nuggets. Lakers lost. Lakers are done. Out. No playoffs. No play-in. They didn't even make the play-in. What clowns? Lakers are a 31-48 disaster. The Pelicans, without Zion playing a damn minute, had a better record. The Spurs aren't any good. They had a better record. The Vegas over-under number preseason was 52.5. 52.5. The Lakers were 20 games off the pace. The Lakers were the consensus heavy favorite to win the West before the season started. And look, they finish in 11th with 3 future Hall of Famers. And LeBron deserves to be destroyed. It's a legacy killer. Don't you dare have the nerve, the chutzpah, the audacity to mention LeBron's name in the same sentence as my guy Michael Jordan ever again. LeBron's passive-aggressive nonsense was awful, ripping his teammates. Pelinka, while openly daydreaming about Cleveland, Sam Presti, and the Rams. It was LeBron, never forget this, LeBron who wanted Russ over DeMar DeRozan and Buddy Hield. Now, Russ was terrible, but I would argue this in defense of my guy Westbrook, and he had a terrible season, but while LeBron wanted him, he never embraced him and worked off of his game and what Russ has brought to the table. The ego for LeBron James was too much and derailed the season. Davis couldn't stay on the court and barely showed that he cared. And injuries. You want to talk injuries? Oh, I don't know, Anthony Davis. Look at the Clippers. Look at the Warriors. Look at the Grizz. Look at Denver. And sure, having Kendrick Nunn would have been nice, but injuries should have kept the Lakers from the play-in. Maybe injuries keep you from the 1 seed or a top 4 seed in terms of home court in the first round if you're going to have LeBron and AD miss time. But come on, bunch of losers. This was awful. He was gutless and wretched. Defense was non-existent. Fundamentals were awful. LA, second worst free throw percentage in the NBA. And Pelinka, the GM, deserves a ton of blame. Should have added at the deadline. It was like everyone kept waiting. Oh, the light's going to go on. There was no lights. There was no on. The second half numbers were horrendous. They didn't even bother to post in the second half of the season. Clippers swept the season series, and Paul George and Kawhi weren't there. Fire Frank Vogel? Sure, whatever. He'll be gone, not his fault. But everyone needs to go, starting with LeBron. He doesn't want to be there, and the team played like it. Blame everyone for the biggest sad sack losers in sports history. Just start with LeBron James. My guy John Rahm can yuck it up talking to the press leading up to Augusta because he's the official time to shine pick to win the green jacket. I am going with John Rahm finishing first. My guy Scotty Scheffler, number 2. Remember, Scheffler has been number 1 in the world until very recently. I want Rory to win so badly. I'm rooting hard for Rory to complete the career Grand Slam. I expect him to be in the mix all weekend long on CBS. Can't wait for it. But Rahm's the guy. He's just so solid and consistently excellent. Rahm just catapulted into the number 1 spot in the rankings. He's not giving up. And if you've been following it, I know that you have, Rahm has always been really strong at Augusta. That's a big deal mentally. How about the recent finishes in his last 4 trips at Augusta? That's kind of a big deal when you consider being tied for 5th and tied for 7th and tied for 9th and a 4th place finish in 2018. I think that Tiger playing in the Masters is so amazing on so many levels as we described in depth yesterday. But in terms of the other golfers, at least to start, I think Tiger's presence helps the stars because all the eyeballs, all the conversation is going to be on Tiger. And it allows cats like Rahm and Scheffler and Rory to cook. Rahm has been on fire. It's his time to shine at Augusta. It's an annual tradition on the show. We make our official time to shine Major League Baseball predictions for the upcoming season on the Wednesday before the start of the campaign. So let's start with the American League and my playoff teams. I am rolling with the Blue Jays, White Sox, and the Angels for division winners. Wild card teams listed in order: Yankees, the Houston Astros, and the Boston Red Sox. I thought about Minnesota. I considered Kansas City. I don't have the Rays. They always prove me wrong, but after the Meadows deal, I'm just not feeling Tampa Bay. I thought about Seattle. I'm rooting hard for Seattle to break the drought, but those are my official picks and predictions in the American League, and I'm all in on Ohtani and Trout and the Angels. And I know, every year I pick them. Every year I'm wrong. This year, Ohtani is going to dazzle and dominate at the plates and on the mounds. He's going to be healthy. Mike Trout's back and healthy. And the pitching is better than you think. It's better than prior years. It's better than usual. So you always have to have one surprise team. I am rooting so hard Dear sports gods, give me Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani in the postseason. And I think the Yankees have enough to make the playoffs. Now, they're not as strong as Toronto, and I think Toronto going to be excellent this year, but Garrett Cole is a stud. Yankees got better. Now, Brian Cashman could have done a better job than he did this offseason, but I like Josh Donaldson. I like his power. I like his intensity. They have to improve the infield defense. I love Connor Falefa at the shortstop position. That was needed. Yankees are improved, vastly improved from last year. Just not good enough where you say, hey, they're going to win the division, or, remember when the old standard for the Yankees was to get to the World Series? To the National League, where I've got the Phillies, the Brewers, and the Dodgers as the division winners. No DeGrom, but I'm still rolling with the Mets as a playoff team. The Padres, even with Tatis hurt, I love their rotation. And I have the Atlanta Braves as wild card 3. Honestly, I don't think the Braves are going to be great this year. I really don't. But I didn't hesitate in making these picks. The only real debate for me was how to stack the National League East. This lineup is absolutely loaded. Harper is a star. Castellanos and Schwarber, perfect pickups in the offseason. JT Realmuto is the best catcher bar none in the National League. I love the Phillies. Their bullpen is better. Rotation with Nola and Wheeler, it's top heavy. Joe Girardi's a great manager. Max Scherzer changes the equation in terms of dealing with the DeGrom injury. You have Scherzer, who's a bulldog, no losers lament, same old Mets from this ball club. It's not going to happen. Bassett helps the Mets as well. Buck Showalter, great in terms of an upgrade as the manager. Mets offense is better. And look, the Braves are going to be strong. I'll say what nobody wants to say. Matt Olson's an upgrade at first base. He's an upgrade. But you're starting the season with no Acuna Jr. or Freddie Freeman. Obviously, Freddie's in L.A., so you have Acuna Jr. still not going to be able to start the campaign with the injury. Listen, the Atlanta Braves won the World Series. Good news, they never have to give it back. But the Atlanta Braves for 4 months last year, first 4 months of the season, were a bad baseball team. They went on a historic run. They won the World Series. They earned it. I think they're good enough to be better than the Giants, who I think take a major step back. I don't like any of the teams in the Central. I mean, that's Central. Other than the Brewers is a bunch of hot garbage. But I think the Braves will make the playoffs, but I don't think they're good enough to finish higher than third in their own division. Now, here's my official time to shine World Series pick. Dodgers over the Blue Jays. I am obsessed with the LA Dodgers. I think this offense is going to be off the charts. I think that it's going to be historically great with Mookie Betts and company. The rotation is unbelievable. I love, obviously, my guy Clayton Kershaw, who's back again, and he's the greatest of all time. This team has everything you want. Offense, starting rotation. Walker Buehler going to have a sensational year. I am so fired up for the LA Dodgers this season. And I think Toronto is going to live up to the hype. They should have made the playoffs last year. We talked about Vlad Guerrero getting the Triple Crown on yesterday's sizzling edition of Time to Shine. Springer's going to have a monster year. I'm obsessed when it comes to Bo Bichette. The Blue Jays are going to the World Series. Dodgers over the Blue Jays. How about some awards starting in the American League? Listen, we talked Blue Jays to go to the World Series. I'm going with Vlad Guerrero Jr. to be the MVP. Not even a bold prediction when I say win the Triple Crown. And how about Jose Barrios? Picking him over Garrett Cole, over Lucas Giolito. Love that pickup in the offseason. Barrios, an absolute stud. Sensational against the American League East with a sub-3 ERA. And Bobby Witt Jr. going to be special for the Kansas City Royals. Listen, I love Bryce Harper, obsessed with Bryce Harper. Juan Soto is the best player in the National League, but the Nationals are going to be dreadful. I consider Trey Turner, but I'm rolling with Bryce. Walker Buehler is going to dominate. I take him as opposed to Max Scherzer, as opposed to Burns and Woodruff from the Milwaukee Brewers, who I think are going to be sensational. And yes, I'm rolling with my guy Suzuki for the Rookie of the Year in the National League.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell for more videos.